Hey you guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning so far. I thought today we could talk about some of my old monthly favorites. Thought it'd be kind of fun to go and revisit like my old monthly favorites and kind of just like pick through products to see what I thought about them at the time and see if I still love them. I've seen people do this video, so I have a list of products here that I kind of wanted to touch base on. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but I'll definitely let you guys know whether or not I still enjoy these products. So if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you guys will hit that subscribe button down below. We're just going to get diving right into this. The first one I have is the ABH Subculture palette. So I spoke about this in 2017. I think it was like my November monthly favorites for 2017. And I did speak about how I did enjoy that palette. And at that time, it was a good palette, although it's just one of those palettes that you really had to work carefully with because you could easily mess that thing up. And do you guys remember the drama that ensued with that palette? Like, it was intense. I just gave up on it. It was like, nope, don't like it. I think now you can even buy it at TJ Maxx. Like, I don't even think they make it in store. Do they even make it at Sephora? Because if they did, that would be a joke, because you can get it at TJ Maxx for like a third of the price of what they sold it for. I probably wouldn't recommend that to very many people. I also did speak about this in that same video. It was the Contour palette by BAREMINERALS, and I still hold true to this palette. I think BAREMINERALS, their line, is slowly starting to develop as far as like, I feel like more and more consumers are starting to dive into BAREMINERALS because I feel like BAREMINERALS is starting to catch up even more with what the consumer wants. It used to be, I feel like, so tailored to a certain type of consumer, and they kind of just like pushed everybody out, and now they're implementing a lot of the things that people want to see when it comes to makeup, and I think that that's really helped revamp their brand. That's just me personally thinking that way. I have been falling in love with so many other products. You guys know one of my tried and true foundations is from BAREMINERALS. It is like one of my favorite foundations ever, and this one here is still holds true. I definitely would repurchase this. I think I looked on Macy's to see if it was still available, and every time I pull this out, I just double check. I like to double check to make sure it's still available. My nose is leaking. Can you see this? Oh my goodness, Steph. I just got this like instant like dripping from my nose, and that's not attractive. Moving back into the palette, I really do enjoy it. I think it's got great basic shades. It's got the highlighting shade, and I appreciate the highlighting shade because it's not too bright. It's like a natural brightening effect for me. And then you've got this blend shade. So you've got like your contour, your blend, and your highlight shade. And definitely the blend shade is gonna run a little bit more orange. But again, for me, that like is definitely something that you just take very lightly and you blend that into the skin. And I don't know what it is, but when I blend these two shades together, I get a really nice like flawless finish. So I still love this palette. I definitely still think that it's still going to hold on into my collection, and I'm going to play around with it even more, and I could definitely see myself repurchasing it. I raved about the GLAMGLOW in an orange container, and it's so funny because when I started talking about it, I was like, I don't even remember that product. This was one of the products that kind of like took me by surprise because I was like, wait, what? What is that? I don't know exactly how to take that because I'm like, it obviously wasn't that memorable if I don't even remember using it. But yeah, apparently I loved it and I thought it was bomb. So then we move into the Sephora foundation. So this was, again, another product that I spoke about. Do remember myself recalling that I did enjoy it. Although I feel like if you look at my collection now when it comes down to foundations, I don't have very many full coverage foundations. Like if you look at my collection, it definitely runs more like medium to full coverage. Like it's more medium coverage foundations. And for me, I think just having maybe a few staple full coverage foundations is all I need. It was a good foundation. I would definitely say that Sephora line itself has some really great gems in it because there was a liquid lipstick that I really did enjoy from their line. Also, it was like shade number 14 or maybe 7, maybe even both. That was one product I do remember having in my collection. I just don't think that it was memorable enough for me to like recommend it because I never did recommend it or even repurchase it. So then we move into blush, and I had this one here, and I spoke about this again, and I still use this. I find this blush to be very great. I'm going to put the brand right here because I'm not going to butcher it. I've butchered it way too many times. I know you guys have told me how to say it. I still can't say it. And this is number 52, I believe is what the shade is. I still really enjoy this blush. I honestly was quite surprised on how far back this video was when I raved about this, and I'm like, oh, it's been a few years, but it's held up pretty well. I mean, it's still pigmented. It still has a nice, like, more rosy tone blush to it. It is highly pigmented, so I really like that blush more during the fall and winter time. I find myself pulling it out more versus like in the spring and summer. I do more prefer those more peachier and bronzy tones. So yeah, it's definitely still a favorite of mine, I guess. So I did speak also about the e.l.f. setting spray. So the e.l.f. setting spray, I spoke about it and I mentioned that it was comparable to high-end products is what I said. No, it's not, Steph. Don't get me wrong. I think the e.l.f. setting spray is great. I used the matte one, and for the drugstore, that was like my favorite drugstore one for a matte finish, although I definitely wouldn't say it's the best. I think there are other brands that make decent ones. I wouldn't go as far anymore to say that it's definitely comparable to high-end products, but I definitely think that the matte finish of it really held up. It's, you know, true to its name, and it did what it had to do. I just thought it was really funny that I mentioned that though. Another product I spoke about in one of my monthly favorites was the ABH Glow Kit in Ultimate. After using it and using all of her other glow kits, I retract that. I don't think that that one is at all very good. I think it's like one of her worst ones actually, because if I think about it and I think about all of her glow kits, I still think her first one, which I believe is the That Glow, is still like one of my favorite ones. And I ended up decluttering quite a few of her glow kits, but I still ended up holding on to this one. Another one that I still find to have been a really great glow kit, and I feel like it got a little bit of mixed feelings, but it was the Nicole Guerrero and ABH one, which, side note, did you guys hear? I think they're coming out with like a round 2, by the way. I thought I heard that in the grapevine of somewhere scrolling through Instagram, and I was like, oh, I'm getting that palette. And again, this palette, I just found myself really loving. Definitely like the bottom 3 were my favorite, but I feel like her glow kits were inconsistent. Like one glow kit was good, one glow kit was like okay, and then another one was really chunky. That's kind of like my feeling on her glow kits. And now I feel like people don't really even talk about her glow kits. Like, she had her illuminators, which I only liked So Hollywood, I think, the most, that it ended up being that I loved it the most. And her Amrezy one, which is like a beloved highlighter in her collection, but nobody really talks about her glow kits anymore. Don't you find that kind of crazy? Like, I remember when she came out with them, they were like the it thing, like the must-have highlighter. And now it's like, yeah, okay. Another one that I spoke about was the Sephora Green Gel Concealer. I spoke about how I did enjoy it and I thought that it was really lightweight and I liked the way that it was. It was really easy to blend out, and I did still find that to be true, but I think in overall, when you're speaking about concealers, I still prefer more of like a thicker potted cream concealer versus a gel formula, because I feel like with the gel formula, it was almost too lightweight that it ended up like fading away and it really didn't cancel anything out. You know, at the time, I think maybe it was a really great product. It's definitely not a favorite of mine and I would never repurchase it. Oh, so then we had the Makeup Forever equalizers. Do you guys remember when those came out? It was like mind blown because they came out with all of these primers for every different skin type, and Jaclyn Hill raved about every single one of them, and other bigger influencers were raving about them, and I loved it. I mean, there were multiple monthly favorites where I was speaking about it, and I loved that primer. My favorite one was the blurring one, and then the mattifier were the 2 that I purchased. And I actually told myself today when I was, you know, going through all my videos, I was like, Steph, you need to get that again. Like, it was so good. And I think I've just been, you know, so sold on all these other primers that I completely forgot about it. So it was kind of a good thing that I kind of revisited it, because I really now want to go back and get that equalizer again and try it out. I definitely wouldn't say that the matte one is definitely my favorite. I kind of want to go back and try it out again. So that might be something I might repurchase here very soon. So I was just going to finish off with the concealer, and it was the NARS concealer. I actually had this out because I used it today for my brows, but I'm proud of myself, you guys. Look at this. Like, I have really made a dent in this. I'm almost hitting pan on it. not one of my project pans or my Shop My Stashes, but I would definitely say that I would repurchase this. I had wanted to originally purchase the ABH concealers. I think they officially did away with them, so I ended up going into this one. I use the shade Light Number 1. I think it's creamy enough, it's thick enough that it gives you that nice defined brow area. This is definitely something that I would repurchase. Well, that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought it was really fun doing this video and kind of just rehashing like my old videos and going through them and seeing what my, old favorites were and what I enjoyed and what I don't enjoy anymore. And just, kind of in seeing what at the time was really cool for me. So if you guys have any products that you used to love that you guys kind of are like, oh gosh, I remember I love that, let me know down below. If you guys are new to my channel, I hope you guys will stick around and subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell. I do upload every day I upload every day at around 8 a.m. I say around 8 a.m. because I feel like I've been doing pretty shitty. I've been waiting. I do upload every day at 8 a.m. Sunday through Thursday. So if you guys haven't caught any of my newest videos, I'll put some here for you guys to check out. These are some of my newest videos, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.